I think you said you walked into a meeting and the scientists were talking about something spiritual, and we didn't really get into it. Can you share that again?
Sure. Well, let me just say this, Glenn, if I can. I think ultimately the human experience is a spiritual experience. There's no way around it. You know, a lot of people say that we're humans having a spiritual experience. I tend to think we're spiritual beings having a human experience. But that aside,
Agree.
There were elements in the Pentagon that believe that what we were looking into were actually demons. And there were some fundamentalists that believe that this was all the work of so to speak, the devil. Now, I can't, between you and me, and I guess now everybody else, I can't necessarily fault them for thinking that, because if that is their spiritual perspective, then I can understand it. And there are elements certainly within this topic that may scare some people, but I don't
like
know
what?
that to be true.
Like, can you tell me,
Sure. Yeah, there were people in the Pentagon that believe that UFOs. Not only did they say they were real, they actually told me to my face and my colleagues, but that we shouldn't be looking into them because they are demons. They're demonic. They are. We know exactly what they are. And again, some of these people were very, very senior in the intelligence community. Some of them were friends of mine. And although I don't agree with their perspective, look, at the end of the day, I can't prove that they're wrong either. So I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I can respect that fear that this topic brings, because.
Do you have any idea why they would say something like that?
Well, what was told to me point blank was, Lou, have you read your Bible lately? And I said, well, I thought I was, pretty familiar with it. Why? And he said, well, then you would know, because what we're dealing with are demons and we shouldn't be looking into them. And that was the extent of that conversation I had with a senior leader in the U.S. government. But there were others as well who felt the same way. There's a lot of people that also can point to the Bible, and they'll talk about Ezekiel's wheel, right, as being actually an interpretation of an encounter with a UAP. So I spent some time at the Vatican, and I'll share this. That was kind of interesting, and I'll make it quick. There they opened a scroll. It was a very old parchment. It was in Latin, and one of the senior academics there at the Vatican said, "Look here, read this part." And it talked about eclipus. Eclipus is a Latin word for, think of eclipse, and it was the word they were using for the Roman shields, because the Roman shields were round and lenticular, and they did look, I guess, like suns. And he said, here it is. And this was a discussion between a Roman soldier and a Roman general, where they described these flaming Roman shields in the sky that would follow them from battle space to battle space. And so, this is going way back, and this is a document that's in the possession of the Vatican itself. So the Vatican has also had a deep interest in this topic. The last pope actually said, I believe, several years ago, that we should not be surprised that life exists and is abundant in the universe. That God has the ability to create as many species as he wants, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we are any less special.
Lou, it's always fascinating to talk to you. We'll we'll keep watching. Thank you so much.